Hey everybody, it's Russell, and today I thought I'd do another little one of these just special videos for you guys today on my channel. And in this video, I'm gonna be showing with you my top 8, eight most recommended movie picks for teens. These 8, at least some of them, are also a few of my favorite movies ever that I've ever watched too. So I'll point that out as well once I get through them. Start off with the first movie. I'm not going in order. I'm just gonna, go through all of them. I'm only going in order based on like release year. Yeah, for all these movies. But this first movie I have is The Great Outdoors, starring John Candy and Dan Aykroyd. Yeah, I love both of these actors, especially John Candy, and I love this movie a lot. It was very fun. It felt like more of an adult/teen kind of movie. It kind of had some bit inappropriate content in it, I will know. That kind of seemed more like mature, a bit more mature adult content or teen content for mature teens and adults. But this movie is very great on its own. You have a nice cover on this DVD copy that I have of the movie. And it was all it really was, in my opinion, was just fun and humorous, aside from that little bit of kind of inappropriate content in this book. And this is the non-edited version. Yeah, even though it was originally rated PG, I think they would have nowadays re-rated it to PG-13 or maybe even TV-14. Probably PG-13 would be a better rating nowadays to rate this movie. But it's so great. I don't own this. I think one of my parents, I don't know for sure if my mom or dad owns this. I think my dad, maybe? My dad owns a lot of movies, so I think he owns this one. It's just so great. Everything about this book, or movie, is so great. I don't do a lot of movie reviews and videos on my channel, so yeah, this is a big shout out. So that was really good. Now we're moving on to these next 3 movies. These next 3 movies, we're talking Rambo. Yes, John Rambo. I love the original first 3 John Rambo movies. Now, there were 2 more to release in the Rambo movie series, and they're all rated R, of course. But I will say, even though the first 3 movies were originally rated R, I think they are more appropriate for teens, for younger teens, like 13 and 14, like my age, 14, of course. I think they should be given, at least the first 3 should be given PG-13 ratings, especially the non-edited edited versions that you can record basically on any TV or device. Yeah, I will recommend the non-edited versions more than the non-edited. Did I say? Ugh. Let me back up. Let me try that again. I do recommend the edited versions. Yeah, I do recommend the edited versions of these 3 Rambo movies, of the original 3, way more than the non-edited versions of the 3 original Rambo movies. The edited versions are a bit less intense. They feel more like a classic nowadays PG-13 thriller rated movie. Anyways, yeah, the first 2, I have not seen the last 2 movies. I think one of them, the second to last one was called Rambo. That movie was released in 2008. The last one was Rambo Last Blood, released in 2019. And I'm going to have to wait in time at least 17 or 18 to watch those 2 by myself. Yeah. So, the first one, of course, the iconic, very first original Rambo First Blood. Now, This one and these next two are the non-edited DVD versions of these three movies. They are just the bit more intense versions of them, of the movies, and they have a bit more profanity in it and a bit more mature content in it. The first movie, in my opinion, out of the other two, out of all the three, has the most swearing. So, yeah, just to keep that in mind. Even the edited version of this movie kind of has quite a bit swearing in it too. Quite a bit of swearing in it as well. But yes, the iconic First Blood, Sylvester Stallone, my man, my favorite actor ever. I just love Stallone. He's so talented. He's so great. And in my opinion, I think the first three Rambo movies were the best movies he ever starred in. So yes, there's the original in DVD. My dad also owns this one and these next two. So, let's go ahead and put that. There we go. Okay, I'm just gonna... There we go, that'll be easier. Just dump them all out. Okay, next, yes, the sequel to the original, Rambo First Blood Part 2. Unfortunately, I didn't think this movie was at all as good as the original. Same as Rambo 3. Rambo 3 is probably still my favorite Rambo movie out of the three. But I still like Rambo First Blood Part 2. It's probably my least favorite so far out of the three. Now that I think of it a little bit more now. But it's still a really, really fantastic sequel. Just not at all as good as the original. And the third movie, in my opinion. Coming up next. Okay, okay, yes. And the last one, Rambo 3. Yeah, this one and Rambo and the original First Blood movie were the only two movies out of the three that I've watched the most, especially this one. I just love Rambo 3. A lot of people don't really like this one. I think they kind of find it to be a bit more cartoonish. Yeah, even the non-edited version right here in DVD is not that bad. Same with those other two. They're just not that bad. I still prefer the edited versions a bit more than these for teens. Yeah, so there are the Rambo movies. And I'll lastly show you that they came in this like nice cardboard case here, collection here of the three. There they are right there. Yeah, it's pretty worn, just because it's pretty old. Because my dad owns it. Must have bought it years ago, and I'm glad that the DVDs themselves for each of those three movies are in great condition. They're basically brand new. But last movies, the last four, take a guess. I'm going to pause for a few seconds for you guys to take a guess as to what my next movies, my last four next movies for this video on my list are going to be. Okay, ready? Alright. Let's go ahead and start. Yes. Talking about Indiana Jones. Yes, so far Indiana Jones is my... this is going to be a hard pick. It's probably my first or second favorite movie franchise ever. Like, same with Rambo. Rambo's also at least the first three films are my... or like my number one or two favorite movie franchise ever. Movie franchises. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. Anyways, first movie here. Yes. I don't have the last Indiana Jones film. At least it didn't come in this nice box set too, which is in a lot better condition than the Rambo one. As you can see, it's just got a little bit of wear on the back there. That's about it. I love the back there with Harrison Ford. Yes, Harrison Ford is probably my second or third favorite actor too. Kind of following closely behind Sylvester Stallone in my personal opinion. I love both of them. They're great. Anyways, yes. The fifth film in the Indiana Jones franchise is called Dial of Destiny, that 2023 film, and I really thought that was a total mixed bag in my opinion. It just sucked. It's so far currently my least favorite Indiana Jones movie in the franchise out of all of them. It's been that way for a long time, ever since the first time I watched that movie, and I just hated it ever since. It's just, I didn't think it really even needed to be made. It was really confusing in my opinion. It wasn't for me. But yes, here's the Raiders of the Lost Ark, the famous movie right here. It doesn't have the DVD in it because I've been watching a little bit of it just recently. Once again, I've seen all of these, at least these 4 original films in the Indiana Jones franchise a ton of times. The original movie here, I think, came out in 1982? 1981, yes. This movie is so great. So far, it's my #1 most favorite Indiana Jones film. It is just so great. And next, following closely behind Raiders as my second favorite current Indiana Jones film. It used to be my first, but I like Raiders a bit more because it feels a bit more lighthearted and more fun. This next movie, though, in the franchise, oh boy, it is the most darkest movie in the entire franchise. And what I mean by darkest, it doesn't matter if you watch the edited or non-edited version of this movie. You will experience some really dark, terrifying, I should say, scenes in this movie. And there's a really big one that I'm not going to even tell because it's so gruesome. It was just, ugh, gross. But here's Temple of Doom, yes, the sequel to the original. Not quite as good as the original, in my opinion. But as I mentioned before, it used to be my favorite Indiana Jones film, but not anymore. I just decided to finally put Raiders up a little bit more over this one. But this one, man, it's so dark. It's less fun than all the Indiana Jones films. It's just, yeah, it's still really good despite all that. Yeah. Can't remember the year of that movie. The movie release year. Or the, whatever. I don't remember what year that movie came out in. But maybe it says on the back here, too. 1984, yeah. Okay, next. The Last Crusade. This movie is a favorite, just like Raiders, among fans, among many in the series, or in the franchise, if you will. But it's unfortunately just quite a hot take for me. It's so fun. It's a bit more lighthearted, I'd say, and fun than Raiders. But it's my second most least favorite Indiana Jones film in the franchise. It just kind of fell apart for me. No matter how many times I watched it and watch it now, yeah, it wasn't too good. Unfortunately, I feel so bad saying that because I thought I'd love that movie a ton. There are a couple scenes that I really like in that movie. There's like one scene where there's like a canyon scene in that movie, and you know what I mean if you watched it, with like the tank and everything. It's great. But here's the last movie. Here, the 4th Indiana Jones film to come out in 2008. So like what, 20-something years after the 3rd film, called Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Yes, this is my 3rd favorite Indiana Jones film, and since there are 6 films, it ranks right in the middle between my top 2 favorites and my top 2 least favorites. So it ranks solidly right in the middle. And I, before, used to rank it up a little bit higher too, but I just thought, the mid-tier is just a perfect spot for this movie. It is just really, really great. A little bit dark, but it's kind of like Temple of Doom, but it's probably a little bit more fun than Raiders of the Lost Ark now that I think of it a little bit more. And and The Last Crusade 2, and definitely the Temple of Doom. It just has this great jungle kind of adventure to it in Peru, I think. Yeah. This didn't come. This actually did not come in this. So my apologies if I said it did before. Earlier in the video, it didn't. My dad got this separate, but yeah, there's a 4th DVD that was like a special feature or something DVD that I just didn't want to include in here. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching my video. Subscribe down below, comment down below, and I'll see you again in my next videos. Take care.